I want to change public perception on what sex work is. A lot of the stereotypes out there or the information on sex workers are always framed the same. It's always a lady leaning into a car. It's often they're on drugs or they're poor or they have no other option to do this. Or you go to the other end of the spectrum where they're $1,000 an hour ladies and they're dripping in diamonds and they're going on holidays and that sort of stuff. And you often always just see the two ends of the spectrum and nothing in between. Where really we're just everyday people and it's just a job. And we do everything else that normal people do. And we go to the supermarket and we're driving cars and we're standing behind you at the bank. At the time I was at uni. I was studying full-time and I had a part-time job in a bar, so I worked very late hours for bare minimum wage. And through this bar I met a few sex workers and I had a lot of preconceived notions about what they'd be like. Were they on drugs? Was the work hard? Did they actually hate it? Like, I had all these stereotypes in my head, and through talking with them I realised that that wasn't true. And yeah, sure, you had the odd bad night, but they were fantastic people, and I started to look into it and look at the flexible hours and the money that I could be making compared to my $11 an hour job, and did some research and went to the NZPC, and that's how I started. I applied for a few agencies and eventually one took me on, and yeah, the rest is history. I started off as an agency and I was there for 2 years, and then I decided to become independent, and I've been independent for 3 years now, so working for a total of 5 years so far.
Is there quite a big difference between working for an agency and on your own?
Yeah, there is. So with an agency, they run all your ads, they run your phone for you, they're in charge of organising the bookings between client and yourself. You just come in, you get ready, you do the job, you get paid, you clean up, and when you go home you can forget about it. Being an independent worker, I'm on my phone all the time. If a client texts at 10 p.m, I'm most likely going to text back. I have to do all my own advertising, keep my spot place, my in-call spotless. It's being an independent escort is being thrown into the deep end of running your own business. You learn how to become your own accountant, your own marketing manager. You do everything, and I think that's one thing that people don't realise about sex work. They go, oh, sex work is easy work. You just lay on your back, spread your legs, and that's not true. You do a lot of business, unpaid business work, a lot of admin hours that go unseen. It's like, I can't put that on my CV. It's like job, sex worker, skills learned, marketing, accounting.
I mean, but it's still like business owner.
Yeah. It's
that's true. It's a good point.
So the NZPC is actually one of the first places that I went to in researching becoming a sex worker. So they're a collective made up of current and ex-sex workers. They've been running for just over 30 years, and they provide information, sexual health clinics, condoms, lube, and support. If you ever have any issues, you can go in and talk to somebody. If you just need a shoulder to lean on, or you're unsure about something, or you need legal advice, they're always there to help. I think for me and for probably a lot of other sex workers, it's quite hard to open up about being a sex worker because of the stereotypes and the stigma associated with it, and the discrimination and how people are going to react when you say it. So for me, it's a lot less about that I'm ashamed about my job or that I don't want to tell people. It's not that at all. It's how are you going to react, and the effort that I have to put in either to educate you or to make you feel better. Sometimes I do tell a person or a stranger and they don't bat an eyelid, and it's just a sigh of relief when they don't react badly. They just see it as another work, another job. It doesn't change the person that you are. The exhibition topic was quite broad. We wanted to make it quite broad, a day in the life of. So we can include, whether you want to talk about the mundane, whether you want to talk about the stereotypes or the stigma that is inflicted on us, whether you want to talk about sex, whether you want to talk about boundaries and communication. And that's all represented in the exhibition, which is great to see. Other artworks talk about the way sex workers are seen as trash, or the way we're treated as trash, which is quite a confronting artwork, and I'm keen to see how the public react to that one. So I think to get the public in and just to see us as everyday humans with emotions and feelings and brains and aspirations is my goal. Maybe, if the public comes in and if someone leaves with a different perception of sex work than they had before, I think it's achieved.